Hey, Mouw Family Chiropractic community, Dr. Jordan here, coming to you today to talk about Healthy Kids Month. October is Healthy Kids Month. I wanted to talk a little bit about why chiropractic for kids. What can we do as chiropractors? I know that a lot of people will raise their eyebrow and really question, why do kids need chiropractic? So number one, I do want to touch on why do kids need chiropractic care, but then also number two, what are some of the common things that we see kids for? What are some of the common complaints that parents bring in their kids or kids have as teenagers that may be going on with them that we could help them out with? Number one, why do kids need chiropractic care? I don't know how many of you have seen a birth before, but a birth for a little one, for most of you have to understand, is that a child has to come through that hole right there, right? And that's just not a lot of space for a little one to come through. And oftentimes, in order to get the shoulders through, there's a lot of strain and stress that has to be put on the upper neck region in kids. And so the birth experience can be very traumatic for a little one, but also for mom. The other thing is as a child grows, as it crawls and walks, I have a 15-month-old, and I've seen him fall numerous times, 30, 40 times a day as he's learning to walk. He's fallen off of a bed, he's fallen off of our couch multiple times. They have stress and trauma to their body as well. And then even as they get into sports and activities and football and volleyball and all these sorts of activities, it's important to keep them healthy through those seasons as well. I do want to talk a little bit about a piece of research that came out in November of 2015. They looked at the incidence in newborns of something called somatic dysfunction. Somatic dysfunction just means restricted movement or abnormal movement, and they looked at the skull and the spine of newborns. They evaluated 100 newborns, and what they found was that 99% of those kids, so 99 out of 100, had this abnormal movement in either their skull or their spine. Now, if we look at just the neck region, what they found is that 91% of healthy newborns experience this restricted movement in the neck. Now, 94% experience restricted movement in what we call the lumbar or the low back region, and 80% had a restricted movement in the tailbone or the sacrum. Okay, so if you're looking at that, I mean, it didn't really matter whether mom had a very natural birth or more of an intervention, C-section, forceps, vacuum extraction delivery. It really didn't matter either way. 99% of kids are born with this restricted or abnormal movement. And a lot of times us as chiropractors, we're evaluating the neck region and also the low back region. So what are some of the common things that little kids come in for? It's things like torticollis, where it's actually this tilting and twisting in the neck. It tilts, also something called plagiocephaly, which is basically a flat spot on the back of the head that can be caused by just laying on one side more than another. And a lot of times with both torticollis and plagiocephaly, what we'll see is that kids have a tough time breastfeeding. So mom will note that on one side or the other, the child's not able to breastfeed as well. Okay, but even as kids get older, things like ear infections, the eustachian tube actually has muscles that also attach to the upper neck. And so drainage during an ear infection can be really tough. And so making sure that the upper neck's in alignment is really important as well. But as kids get older and into activities and sports and so forth, they sustain injuries and have traumas, and they have neck pain and back pain and other things that are going on that we can help with as well. So that's just a little bit of information about kids. Comment below if you have any comments or questions about chiropractic care for kids. I would love to discuss that, and I can answer those questions. If you have any ideas for topics that you would like me to talk about with regards to chiropractic in kids, I would love to do that as well. So until next time, have a great week.